Hello, I'm Kristen Lee. Um, so I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I tend to I pick a streaming service and then I watch all the things that I've been trying to catch up on, or that somebody's like, hey, you should watch this or whatever. I really hate jumping from streaming service to streaming service within the same sitting of like binging. So what is going on? Anyway, so I have been watching Netflix since I've been back. There's a whole section of just Netflix Christmas movies, not just Christmas movies, Netflix Christmas movies, and they're movies that are new to me. So I watched 4 yesterday, and maybe you haven't watched it, and maybe you are into the feel-good Hallmark Christmas movie type things. So I wanted to share them because I enjoyed all 4. And then, what were the 2 before? The 2 I watched before I left. No, I watched 3. I've watched Spirited on Apple TV. I watched The Santa Clauses. I watched the first 2 episodes on Disney Plus, and then on Netflix I watched the Lindsay Lohan, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it here. I watched all of those and I enjoyed those. I will be watching Spirited again before Christmas or on Christmas. And what's the other one? The Santa Clauses I have to catch up on. I guess there's 5 episodes. So, but anyway, Netflix. So yesterday I watched A Castle for Christmas, Christmas with You, Single All the Way, and Noel Diary. So I'm going to give you a Christianized version of what they're about, and then I'm going to do spoilers at the end. So I'll let you know when, so that if you want to watch them or they're new to you like they were to me, you can watch them without me spoiling them. So A Castle for Christmas stars Brooke Shields and Carrie Hughes, and Brooke Shields is a romance author, and she goes on a talk show and she kind of blows the interview, and she's like, you know what, I gotta lay low, and she picked Scotland to go lay low. There's a reason why, and there's like a family memory kind of thing why she goes. And while she's there, she stays in a bed and breakfast that is run by like a knitting group where the owner of the bed and breakfast has a knitting group like in their like living room area. They're so cute. And there's a pub, and then Brooke Shields finds a castle, falls in love with the castle, and decides to buy it. But the castle already has an owner, and he happens to be a duke, and it's Carrie Hughes, and they're fantastic. The chemistry was fantastic. It was a cute story. It played on a lot of romantic comedy tropes and stuff. It was really cute. So, and I think I told everybody and their brother yesterday, have you watched this movie? You need to watch this movie like right now, because it was like, it was up there with like The Proposal, like how cute it was. So it was. Anyway, so I watched that, and then I watched Christmas with You, and I think it's Amy Garcia and Freddie Prinze Jr. It was cute too. Amy Garcia is a pop star, and she's trying to stay relevant, and finds no, that's not what she found. She finds a video of a fan singing one of her songs, and it happens to be the fan's quince, and the fan is like, I would just love to have a selfie with this woman, and the pop star decides to grant it to the fan, and the fan is Freddie Prinze Jr.'s daughter, and it kind of goes along the same lines as Marry Me with J-Lo and Owen Wilson. It has very similar storyline. But yeah, I liked it. It's cool to see a lot of the stars that I loved as a teenager come back in these types of movies and shows and stuff. Like Winona Ryder coming back in Stranger Things, and then, you know, there's a bunch, but, you know, I don't know. It makes me happy that they are getting work and they weren't ostracized because they aged out of Hollywood kind of thing, because that's what used to happen. So that was good. And then Single All the Way was so cute. It has this guy. It didn't. Oh wait, it had Jennifer Coolidge and Kathy Najimy. Is that how you say it? She plays Mary Sanderson on Hocus Pocus. But anyway, Jennifer Coolidge and Kathy are sisters, and Kathy's son is coming home for the holidays, and he's so excited because he finally gets to bring his boyfriend, and come to find out his roommate that he's kind of like a handyman. They called it a certain trade in the movie, and I can't remember what it was called. It was like a fixer, but it wasn't that. Oh, God. And it wasn't carpenter. Anyway, he was doing a job, and he saw the boyfriend, and the boyfriend had a wife. So he had to tell his friend, and his friend's like, man, I was going home. I was so excited. I wasn't going to be single. They weren't going to, you know, ask me when I was going to find someone. And so he talks his roommate into coming home with him and pretending to be his boyfriend. And so he ends up doing it. They go to the family's house in New Hampshire, and they end up not going with that storyline because Kathy has set her son up with the fitness instructor at her local, like, LA Fitness kind of thing. And he has to go on a blind date, and it's super cute. And Jennifer Coolidge, she's doing the Christmas pageant for all her nieces and nephews. It's really funny. It's you should try it. Excuse me. And then the last one was Noel Diary. It didn't have anybody that I knew, but I really enjoyed the main characters. For some reason, a few of the movies that I watched had 3 out of 4 had dogs in them. Like A Castle for Christmas had Hamish the dog, and then Single All the Way had oh my god, Emmett. And then why can't I remember the one in Noel Diary? It was like Natalia or something. It was some weird thing. Anyway, the main character is a guy that's an author, but I don't think he does romance. I think he does like contemporary. No, he did historical romance. That's what he wrote. And he finds out his mom passes, and he has to go close the house up. And while he's doing that, this woman randomly shows up and says that her mom worked for the family that lived there, and she was their nanny, and the woman was adopted, and she's just trying to find her roots. And this guy decides to help her, and it's their journey together. And they bring the dog with them, and they go on this really fun road trip. and there's a quirky, cute neighbor that has known this guy since he was little, since they moved in the house next door. And you find out what happened with the family, and that split the family up, and there's an estranged father figure, and you find out what happened with that. And it was a good Christmas movie night. So if you want to watch any of those, I highly recommend them. I will try and find the trailers, and I'll link them down below so that you can watch the trailer and decide if you want to watch it, or if you want to just try and find them on Netflix and have Netflix play the trailer for you, whether you want to or not. I don't know if that scares the crap out of everybody else, but it makes me jump every single time. Like, the movie will be over and I'll be like, oh, let's go watch this, and I jump every single time. So, really quick spoilers, because I'm coming close to 12 minutes. So if you want to leave, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. And see if I can do my spoilers in a minute. Okay. So, my beef with the movies, because I'm a cynic a little bit. The Castle for Christmas, it was just too cute. Like, I loved it. I don't want to watch it again, but it just, you kind of just have to take it as is. And you would think that there'd be more litigation in buying a castle. I don't know. But I didn't have as much problems with that one. The Christmas with Me, or Christmas with You movie, this pop star shows up, right? And it shows up at the school, and there really isn't anything wrong with it, because you turn on Instagram or whatever, and that's what she's doing, is so that she can get more followers, and just be relevant again, right? But the weird thing is they invite her to dinner, and it's her and her assistant. So they go to dinner, which is soup. They made pozole, but I know pozole is delicious. But anyway, so they show up, and they end up having a sleepover because it snows. So they're stuck. So they have to have a sleepover. And this woman is in the same outfit for 3 days. And they don't address it until almost the third day. And someone goes shopping, but they don't explain how they got the clothes magically, and it's ugly sweaters. And I didn't understand, like, who would you do that? If Beyonce or, Oprah or freaking anybody famous just showed up and, oh, it's snowing. Why don't you sleep here? Can you imagine? Anyway. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. is a music teacher and helps her write this song, but there's no NDA, there's no lawyers involved, there's nothing. And she could have just taken the song and run. And she's like, oh, I promise you'll get royalties and you'll get a paycheck and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you can't make, because there's record company and all these other things. Anyway, so that happened. And then Single All the Way, there wasn't much I didn't like about it. Not much. Because they kind of picked at rom-com tropes a lot. And then Noel Diary, my biggest beef was, This woman just shows up, doesn't really tell anybody where she's going. Has a fiance that she's not sure if she actually really likes him or not, but she said yes because of security reasons, because she's adopted and she doesn't trust very well and she wants a secure relationship. I get that part. But she tells her fiance, like, hey, I just want to close this chapter in my life and find out more about my mom, but never says, hey, there's this hot guy writer living in the house. We're going for a road trip. And it's just him, me, and the dog driving around. That bothered me. Like, there was no stranger danger, nothing. And he even says something like they're driving on this really snowy, icy road, and he's telling her like his thriller, mystery, Stephen King-ish book ideas. I'd be like, I wouldn't even get in the car. I wouldn't even have to tap out because I wouldn't have gotten in the car. But it was a cute story. Anyway, so those are the movies I watched. Did you watch any of them? What did you think? Did you think like I did the first run through? And be like, hold up. Nobody's pumping the brakes. Nobody's saying anything. And then, are you going to watch them? Let me know if you do watch them. And I plan on coming up with a list of my favorite Christmas movies. I put on Facebook, I was like, I need new to me movies that I haven't watched over and over and over again. And a lot of people misunderstood the assignment because they kept giving me movies I've already seen or that I don't like. So I'm like, okay, I'll go back to square one and just go through my streaming services and watch all the Christmas movies I've never seen. All right. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.